All right, I'm on hole number 3 of the Sukura Hills 9-hole cup. This is hole number 6 of Sukura Hills. I'm going to post these as Sukura Hills videos, so I have a full play set for Sukura Hills, and I'll play them in their order in the tournament. I'll play them in the order that they are at Golf Clash Notebook. All right, hole number 6. Hole number 6. First par 5. All right, this is the bounce city, bounce city, bounce. And I will tell you, in my opinion, this is not like, is there an Albie shot here? Yes. Can you put yourself, there's a bunch of different spots that you can put yourself. If you put yourself farther forward, you're in short iron. Back here, you're in long iron. You can limp over. You can pound yourself over. There's a bunch of different ways that you can get over here, and there's a bunch of different spots. And even if you take the same way, like if you're doing the overpower, your final landing spot down here can be inconsistent. So like there's going to be a range that you're going to be in where it's not a lot of those shots where you're like hitting to the same area and you're trying for 245 and you're at 243, 246, 245, 240, 234. I mean, you're right there every time. You can get a lot of inconsistency, and this green is like super tough the way that where the flagpole's at, and getting an Albie here is going to be an exception rather than a rule. And there's going to be a lot of people there's going to be a pretty good percentage, maybe 20%, 30% that epic fail on this hole, where they messed up here at the top and they weren't able to get on. And we all remember this hole from Tour 3. This is a hole that can be difficult to get on if you can't get down here into this lower fairway. And that's our goal. And you can do it if you've got like an extra mile 8. You can do this without having to do any overpower and just get yourself down there. Because in my opinion, like the shot to the green is super tough to make, and you can get down to the end and give yourself just as good a shot as the people that took big risks with a lot less risk. Take my accurate stuff once again. Let's get back in the game. What was I thinking? Hit the wrong button. I'm going to take an extra mile. You can take a big tapa. I think an extra mile will work better as far as bounces. I'm going to try and do the bounce city bounce. I used to come to this hole with an extra mile and a kingmaker, and I would pound that ball down there, and I would try and get into where you're way up here. I've actually overshot and ended up in this front sand, but trying to get way out there so that you're in short iron range. And this hole has been reconfigured. The green has been reconfigured because the old way, if you could get into your short iron range, you had a serious shot at Albie. But there was risks in getting up to the spot. But now the way that the green is, even when you're in short iron range, it's tough to get an Albie on this hole. It can be done. And I'm sure that there's somebody out there that's going to have this hole like dialed in. But for the masses, this is a tough hole to get an Albie on. But I found that when I was in trouble, I was in big, big trouble. And so I decided that I was just going to play this hole straight up and just try and get myself into my long iron range and make that the focus. So I'm going to pull back a little, put max topspin on, and I want to see that second bounce over there, and I want to give myself a little bit of separation. Like, where is the... Be right on that transition. Got a 4-2 wind. The wind's pushing me, so about 2 rings. I'm only going to take about a ring of it out. I'm going to take just a little bit of the wind out, and I'm going to lean a little bit to the right. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I can get the bounces right, the bounce city bounce, or if I have to make a wind adjustment. Just straight up and just trying to bleed it out there. Get it out into the range. No fuss, no muss. You can do that with an extra mile 8. Extra mile 7, you don't have the top spin, but I'm not sure that you couldn't. You may have to rub the nubs or do something or bring out a slightly bigger ball. But just trying to get up there into my long iron range and give myself really focus on trying to get a consistent landing spot so that I can really work on this next shot. Because I do think that this is a whole. I mean, we're in the spot right here. We've got a straight up shot at it, but the way that it runs up to the cup, it's just a difficult shot. But I would definitely like to make an albie right here. See if my opponent can get out of those cherry trees. They'll have a nice shot from there. But this is another one of those greens that you can be not very far from the cup and have a really, really crappy putt or a really crappy chip because of the way that the green moves around. So I'm in short iron. So in the past, I've always liked to run it up and not try and backspin it where I can engage a little bit of tail up to the cup. It goes up a little hill, so it's easy to end up short, but it's easy for, if you get past the cup, you'll roll off. So it's 3.6. I'm going to do 3.9. 100% accurate, so it's a little less than 3 rings. So there's 1, 2, 3. Try and hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. In and out of the cup. In and out of the cup. And the way the wind was blowing, I should have pulled just a little bit more. So maybe like 1 instead of a 10% adjustment. I should be doing like a 12.5% adjustment or a 12 or plus 1, plus 0.1. Just going, because like in one-on-one play, I would just move 2 rings. I wouldn't have worried about the fractional stuff when I was that close. I would have just did 2 rings, and 2 rings would have helped me out right there. It would have been just a little bit more of a pull, and that would have put me on track with the flagpole. Hit the flagpole, you got a much better chance when you're going too fast. But this side over here can be a crap putt because I'm right at the point where I can just barely see the cup. But if I'd have went a little bit further, I wouldn't be able to see the cup. And those aren't my favorite type of putts. I'm not a really good putter as it is right now. And these types of putts where you're going at an angle like that and you can't see the cup, those are difficult putts for, I think, for anybody. But for me, they blow. Getting some bonus content. But if you hit it nice and easy over there, you can practice that shot and dial that shot in. And I think from that spot, you have just as decent of a shot of getting in as you do on with any of the other ones. It seems like it's the first par 3. I'm not sure which one this is. It's 2-7. There's 2-5. I'm gonna take a little bit of the wind out. I'm gonna let it push me just a little bit more to the left. Oh, that was a jumpy. Getting a little needle lag. Just a bit. Well, the distance was good. If it had been on track at that speed, it should go in. Whether it hits the flagpole or whether it goes in on the side, it should be able to drop in at that speed. I've never been a fan, even in the old configuration on this hole. That finger's been there the whole time. I've never been a fan of coming in at this hole off that finger. If you have a really accurate club, and the backbone's pretty accurate, you can get a couple rings of separation. But if you watch my videos on a regular basis, I'm all about leaving yourself 2 rings of separation, if not 3, if you're using a lot of curl from any transitional surface, so that if you don't catch the perfect, you're still in the fairway, you're still in play. I mean, why wouldn't you try and set yourself up for success so that if you go, damn, I caught it great. Okay, it's not a big deal. I left myself enough room. I can catch that great. And if I hit it perfect, it went right where I want it. I don't know why we can't set our shots up like that. Oh, we can. All right. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That was hole number 3 of the Sakura Hills 9-hole cup. And that is hole number 6 of Sakura Hills. Thanks for watching.